Hello, hello, my friends. We are kicking off our work week with a dedicated candle review of Bath and Body Works Whipped Coconut Milkshake. Now, you may be thinking, wow, Katie, you got to that halfway point rather quickly considering you just purchased this candle on Saturday. And I showcased it yesterday in my semi-annual sale haul video. And yes, I did get to burning this candle right after I filmed that video. However, there is a reason why I am already at the halfway point, and we will discuss that here in this video. So this is their standard 3-wick, what is this, 14.5-ounce vessel. To be honest with you guys, I am not crazy about this packaging. Personally, I think it looks a little cheap and generic. I mentioned in the haul video that the font reminds me a little bit of like Target Up and Up brand, which I know a lot of people are really loyal to that. It doesn't mean that generic brands are bad. Just to me, I feel like the packaging is just not really my vibe. And like I said, I think it looks a little bit cheap. However, I did spend $10 and some change on this candle, so I guess I really can't complain about it looking cheap. So the fragrance notes on this candle are vanilla ice cream, toasted coconut, and sugared amber. I do believe that this is a returning fragrance, at least in the body care. I'm not sure if this has ever been offered in candle format before, so I can't really draw any comparisons to previous versions of this as I have never had those. However, what I will tell you is that upon burn, this candle smells very similar to, what was it in body care a few years ago? There was a fragrance, I want to say it was called like coconut cream pie. I can't, again, I don't have that in my collection anymore. I am not the type of reviewer that keeps candles in my collection to reference to. I personally just don't really have the space, nor honestly, I am a little bit of a clean freak. I like things to stay decluttered and organized. So I don't ever see myself being that person who has like a giant collection to refer back to. However, I can't, so because of that, I can't really make a genuine comparison. But I will tell you that I remember my daughter had that body care product. And when I lit this up in my bedroom yesterday, I was like, oh, it kind of reminds me of that fragrance. Again, I can't say if it's the same, but it did have some similarities. So, what does my nose smell? I definitely get some of the coconut fragrance and I get some creaminess of ice cream in here. The sugared amber note, which I am suspecting is probably the base note, does come out upon burn. Sugared amber is more of what I would describe as, it's not necessarily perfumey, but it lends a little bit of sweetness to this candle without it being a like super gourmand or like candy like sweetness. That's the best way that I can describe it. I usually do like amber in a lot of fragrances, so I'm not surprised that I do like this scent. Do I think that this is just a hoard worthy scent? It's nothing that I've never smelled before? No, it's not. And I even yesterday in the comparison video said that I think the closest comparison from another brand for a candle that would be in this vein is Kringle Candles ice cream sandwiches. However, that fragrance has more of a toasted coconut and kind of a ruby chocolate. You get some of the sprinkles in there. So it's not the same fragrance at all. I don't want you guys to think that I think that they're the same fragrance. They are complementary to one another. In fact, I did burn that candle in another room while I have been testing this one out. But they're not the same fragrance. And I would say that the coconut scents in Kringle's version it just comes out a little bit more authentic. This to me, I think I get that sugared amber is definitely the base. And I am smelling coconut in there, kind of like a creamy coconut. And there is kind of a vanilla ice cream vibe. There's kind of a density to this. So the fragrance is nice, but again, not backup worthy. And there's also another reason why this is not backup worthy. If you are looking at the flames here, yes, it is the dreaded what I call puny wick syndrome. Now, I do know that there are some people who say that it just means that these are slow burners, which I get that. I also understand that there is probably a philosophy behind some of these candles being quote unquote slow burners, because if they burn too hot and too fast, they may change the fragrance that we're getting. The oils might get a little bit too hot, and therefore we get kind of that burned toffee note. So I do understand sometimes why they may change the wicks from some of the other wicks. Say, I'm trying to think, other fragrances that I've recently had from Bath and Body Works, actually most of the ones like the Palo Santo Vanilla and the Santorini Coast, those I have not had any puny wicks with. They've been burning, but they burn a little bit hotter and faster. Whereas this one is definitely a slow burning candle, very similar to like Vanilla Bean. I tend to notice it with a lot of their gourmand fragrances. So I don't know why that is. And that is actually why I am at the almost halfway mark point on this candle, is because upon third burn, the wicks were so puny that I went ahead and I extinguished it. I did place it in a hurricane on the third burn. So I do want to let you guys know the first two burns, I did not have it in a hurricane. And we'll talk about strength and throw in just a minute. But I attempted burning it in my living room on the first burn, moved it into my bedroom on the second burn. Third burn, I put it into a hurricane, and that's when the wicks were really, like, they were at their smallest. I went ahead and I extinguished the wicks, poured out some wax, because that is usually the tactic that I use with every candle brand. When I start to develop puny wicks, the way that I try to rectify that situation is by dumping out some wax, relighting the wicks. Certain brands, like I've found, which is funny, I've never experienced this with Kringle candles in the past, but within the last 6 months, they have been messing with their wicks. We can talk about that in another video. But I have found that if I dump a little bit of wax, it seems to rectify the situation with their candles, and then I don't encounter the puny wicks anymore. However, I was hoping that would be the case here with this Bath and Body Works candle. And while I did get some good strong flames for, I would say, probably the first 45 minutes after I relit the candle after doing that, we're back to puny wicks here. So that is very disappointing. Strength and throw on this candle is being affected, in my opinion, by these slow burning, very low flames. So the fragrance, I'm going to say, is probably, the fragrance is a little bit stronger than the projection or the throw. So when I lit this candle yesterday in my living room, which, by the way, if you want the layout of my home, dimensions, all of those types of things are listed in the description box down below, because those are important factors when I am giving an assessment for how well a candle projects in my home. When I burn this in my open concept living room that has high ceilings, yesterday I couldn't even smell this fragrance. It was completely lost. In fact, I was burning Kringle's ice cream sandwiches in the next bedroom over, and I could smell that, but I could not smell this fragrance. So I went ahead and I extinguished it after the 3-hour burn time, let it cool for about an hour, relit it in my bedroom, and then I was able to smell it in there. However, I really could only smell it well if I was within like 3 to 5 feet of the candle. If I was any further than that, I couldn't smell it anymore. So for those reasons, you guys, this one is a big womp womp, disappointing. I'm going to give this candle maybe a 3 in terms of strength and throw. And that's honestly balancing out between this candle. Like, if you're within that 3 to 5 foot radius, you're going to smell it decently well. But outside of that radius in my home, I cannot smell it. And like I said, in a larger, more open concept room, the fragrance definitely gets lost. So unfortunately, this one is a dud. The other thing that I did want to point out to you guys, and I did talk about this in the haul video yesterday, but in case you missed that, these candles do retail for $24.50. Now, you do want to pay attention to that, especially because a lot of the other Bath and Body Works candles that come out like throughout the year in more of their other, like, summer collection, spring collection, probably going into fall, those retail for $26.95. So if you are planning to purchase this candle at a discounted price, thinking I will go ahead and bring them in and exchange them for fall candles when those are released. Excuse me, you guys, I have a little coughing fit. Hold on. Sorry about that pause, you guys. Allergy season is still in full swing, even though it's hotter than blazes outside. Hopefully that will come to an end soon. Anyways, what I was saying was that if you are planning on purchasing these at a discounted price, in hopes of bringing them back in and exchanging them for new fall releases. Just be aware that the price point is different. So unless you absolutely love other fragrances that are at that $24.50 price point, you just might want to be a little bit hesitant about that. So unfortunately, you guys, I think that this is a candle that would probably be served best in a candle crock. I don't really love using my candle crock because I feel like it locks me into certain fragrances. And I just love variety. And also, I'm just constantly reviewing candles. So, but I do think that this is one that is probably going to have to live out the rest of its days in my crock. I will say that the slow burn right now is not smelling burned or sooty or anything like that. So that has it going for it. I know sometimes with Bath and Body Works Gourmand scents, those slow burning wicks can sometimes alter the fragrance. But yeah, it's a little bit disappointing. I think that this one's probably going to have to live its life in the candle crock. The good news is that the fragrance itself works well with other candles that I currently have in my collection. So some combination suggestions I would have for you with this candle. Obviously, we already talked about Kringle candles, ice cream sandwiches. If you have Yankee candles, iced banana pop, it goes really nicely with that one. Maybe Kringle candles, bananas Foster. If you have Homeworx banana daiquiri in your collection, that one has also paired really nicely with this. So there's a variety of fragrances, you guys, that I think this one will pair nicely with, especially if you have a lot of those good like summer gourmands that are banana or coconut or even vanilla based. I think that they would go well with Homeworx vanilla bean ice cream just popped into my head as well as being another candle that this could possibly work well with. So we've got lots of options here, and therefore I think that this one will be okay for me to pop into the crock. Let me know in the comment box down below, did you purchase this candle this weekend during the opening of SAS, or have you been waiting for some reviews? I know my friend Summer, she goes by Fragrance Junkie here on YouTube, said that she passed on this one because it smelled a little light to her on cold. And I'm just wondering maybe if some of you guys also were wise enough and did the same. It's all right, you guys. That's what I'm here for, is to give reviews for you guys. So yes, let me know. Did I save you guys some money with this review? I hope so. Please hit thumbs up if you found this video helpful. I do have a lot of content coming for you guys this week. So yeah, lots of candle reviews still in the lineup over the next few weeks. We've got some new fun things to talk about. I still have some hauls to share with you guys. So lots of fun stuff coming up here on my channel. So if you like candle content, please make sure you subscribe to my channel before you get on out of here. I do want to say thank you so very much for spending your time here with me today. And until my next one, I hope you all go out and have a very blessed day. Bye.